Hello everyone, it's Leo, and in this video we are going to talk about episode 9 from Delicious Party PreCure. Another gorgeous episode, and this episode I feel like is a great example of why Delicious Party is being so great at what it is trying to do. First, we have Udan's and Kokone's relationship. Basically, it's the star of this episode, and this episode did it so well. The people who are writing the characters in Delicious, they are doing a stellar job. The bickering heads, the different personalities, and everything that's been going on with both of those two characters, it was written perfectly. The way they were bickering heads, the way their ideas were not matching, and their reactions to it, everything was flawless. So let's start by focusing a little bit on their side, Udan and Kokone. So the trio is now complete. We have the 3 cures, but things are still a little rocky. Not still, but started to be a little rocky between Udan and Kokone because they're getting to know each other in their daily lives. It's one thing to get to know a person in one special day and enjoy that special day with that person. And another one is start, enjoying your daily life with that person. You start knowing and noticing lots of sides of their personalities that you did not know before. And Udan and Kokone couldn't be more different than each other. We see that lots of times, but that started when Udan was choosing the new profile picture for Cure Star, and she wanted to choose the lamin, and she asked for Kokone's opinion, but she didn't listen to Kokone's opinion at first, but then she remembered, and Kokone was like super shy, but she shared that she would like the panda. And I love how both of them defend their opinions, and they give arguments to their opinions. Like they do not waver at first, because that's who they are. Udan is quirky, she's funny, she's exaggerated, but she has a strong opinion about things. And Kokone is shy, she is reserved, she is quiet, but she also has a strong opinion about things. So both of them will defend their ideas, even with their different personalities. That doesn't matter. The personalities will clash because of that. And so that was the first clash, even though it wasn't like a big clash, but it was still a little argument. Pum Pum and Men, they started to notice that there was something wrong. And then we saw Udan talking a lot about the book that Kokone was reading, and she felt like she was imposing on Kokone in their lunch break because she talks too much. So she is self-conscious about her own way and about her own personality. But that wasn't probably, getting on Kokone's nerves. We didn't see that, so that was probably something that was okay for Kokone. And at one side, Udan was trying her best to analyze her own personality and see how she could improve in her relationship with Kokone, and Kokone was doing the same. We know that Kokone does this. We've seen that, I think, in episode 5, that she was reading books, she was trying to learn how to make friends. And she does not only read books, she also watches a TV show. And when I saw that, I was like, is this a hint for PreCure 2023? I'm sorry, I am that kind of fan. Like, are we gonna have a duo? Kind of like that with their hairs, kind of like that. What is going on with me? I'm so sorry, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that Kokone was also trying to watch something and to learn how to make friends and how to connect and how to, learn to live with someone with different personalities and different ideas and thoughts than you. And then we get to the takoyaki party, which was very nice because Udan finally got the chalice, she finally got the cup, and now she's like a full-fledged member of Delicious Party PreCure. That's very nice because the cup wasn't given to her in the last scene of the episode, and the takoyaki scene was so cute. Like I'm so sorry, the octopus, the dead octopus, I'm sorry about that, but it was cute, and the way that Kokone was the one who brought that, and that was shipped by plane to Japan, and Udan was super shocked. Girl, the reactions in this episode, they were so on point, and I love that Delicious Party is really like taking a step forward when it comes to reactions. They are not taking a step back because Sometimes the seasons try to be a little bit more normal, and Delicious Party is not trying to. The faces are so funny. And at the takoyaki party, I really loved the debate between Kokone and Ran. We could see how Kokone is a little bit more conservative in terms of how things should be done, and Ran doesn't care about that. And they started, having a little argument, but at the same time, since they were both trying to be friends with each other, they started taking their personalities back to please the other person. So Ran said, no, you're right, sweets should be taken after. And Kokone was like, no, you are right, sweets should be taken in the middle, it's not a problem. So they were trying to, trying to change how they felt so that they could please the other. And that just created a super awkward situation. And then we had the scene with Kokone, which was also, again, very nice. Ran showing her personality and her abilities with children because she has lots of siblings. And then we had another moment, and Kokone got very angry and Ran got very angry, and they finally snapped at each other. So this is another thing that I felt the show did very nice. It did not simply happen. It was escalating throughout the whole episode, and it escalated at that moment. So that was so cool. And that stopped with Gentle's attack, so they went to fight. The fighting scene in this episode was a little weird, but it was better than the last two for sure. I felt that it was a little weird because sometimes I feel like they're nerfing the Cures in terms of their physical powers. Like when Precious tried to punch the monster and she was the one that got hit because it was so hard. I mean, she's a PreCure, and that is weird for a PreCure. Even though it happens sometimes, I always find it weird for a PreCure like her. But at the fighting scene, what mattered was that we had two things happening, like two ideas happening. One of them was Spicy's idea of, let's think of what we're gonna do. Let's create a strategy, because this is kind of what she does. And then we had Ran, who thought, no, we're not creating strategies. We're going all out. We're going to go without thinking too much. Which is weird if we think of last episode's battle, because she was the one who created a strategy and that was the only thing that worked. So why not do the same in this battle? But it also makes sense with Ran's personality as a whole, going all out without thinking too much. So, I don't know. It felt a little weird compared to last episode, but it makes sense for Ran and for Yum Yum. And then they kind of interchanged personalities in the battle. Yum Yum created a strategy, and with that strategy, Spicy was able to go all out without thinking too much. So they basically stood in each other's shoes in the battle, and that's what actually worked. That was so cool. And another thing that I felt that it was nice was that all of them had their moment in the battle. Like, it was not only Spicy and Yum Yum. Precious kind of had her moment too, but Yum Yum was the one to defeat the monster. So it's like 3 episodes for Precious defeating, 3 episodes for Spicy defeating, and now 3 episodes for Yum Yum defeating. Very, very cool. So at the end, they were all good friends, and everything worked very well for Ran and Kokone. And I feel like now they are on a good place, and they are in like a somewhat of a nice friendship going forward. And I hope we still have a little bit more of that so they can, polish their relationship. Let's see where it goes. And at the end, Kokone grows, finally. So far, Kokone's role was just to be cute, and now I feel like she's gonna have a little bit more of a role in the season, and I am gonna enjoy that for sure. Girl, finally, Kokone. And now let's talk about other things that happened in this episode, which were very interesting. I think that concerning everything, there was Yui's grandmother's idea, which is when you're creating a broth, you have to have like two conflicting flavors. If you put the conflicting flavors together, it will make it even more delicious. And that's basically a metaphor for Ran and Kokone's differing personalities. That was very nice. Her grandmother is super important to the story. I'm pretty sure she has some sort of relationship to cooking them or to the villains or both. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she has something. Maybe she was a legendary cure? I don't know. What I know is that she's a very lovely lady, and I cannot wait to learn more about her because all we know is like her thoughts and ideas. And we also have the villain's side. So we have Narciso being introduced in this episode. I find his voice actor very interesting. It was completely different than what I was expecting him to have, like a voice for him to have. I thought that he was gonna have like a twink kind of voice, a younger type of voice, but no. He has a very mature voice, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I liked him in this episode a lot. So he was out, he was doing something, he was creating something, and I don't know if what he created is like a bento box or if it's some sort of thing to recognize where the recipes are. It's kind of hard to know, or a radio or communicator, but he was out, he was not acting with the girls, with the villains, because he was creating that. That's what him and Secretoru said. And he arrived already throwing shade at Gentulu, and Secretoru also kind of criticized him for taking too long. So criticizing is something that Secretoru is doing a lot to Gentulu. She criticizes Gentulu a lot, and now she's criticizing Narciso a lot. No one works right by her side. Girl, you have to find other employees to work for you and go that because no one is working well. And Gentulu's place in this episode was very interesting because we've seen in the last episode that she was having headaches, she was having a hard time, she was suffering, and now it's very clear that she's being controlled and brainwashed, and it's wavering, it's going away. And we saw that in this episode when the Ubalzo stopped attacking because she was kind of regaining her conscience, and it was very clear because of the color of her eyes. One red and one blue eye. Her eyes are getting blue again, which means that this brainwashing thing is getting out. It is not happening to her anymore. And she was able to get, not Gently herself, but the brainwashing got to her again and she finished the fight. But she was super committed into getting the recipes, and I find it very strange that the only way of them finding recipes, like good places for recipes, is through the cure style. I mean, just go to restaurants. There are so many restaurants in Oishina town. It's not that hard. And she, it was very interesting, like how she was trying to run away before the cures arrived because she was really trying to get those recipes to Godats, but did not work. And Narciso watched the fight. Like, it seems that he's getting ready to attack as well, and he seems to be like ready to go deep in action. And he also doesn't really seem that concerned with Gentlu. Like, yes, the brainwashing is wavering away. He doesn't seem concerned about that. It seems that it's fun to him. And he even said something like, the strings on our marionette are breaking, are wavering. I don't remember like the exact words, but he made it clear that she is being controlled. And we don't know by whom. We don't know who is controlling her. We don't know who is like giving the power for her to be controlled. Is it Godats? Is it Secretoru? Is it Narciso? We don't know. And we know nothing about the villains yet. The only thing we know is that Godats wants all the food for himself. What is the story behind the villains? What is the story behind the Banduru gang? What is going on? Very, very interesting. Lots of foreshadowing. If you are following the spoilers, you kind of know where Amane's story will lead. If you're not, there are lots of theories to make. Find it very, very interesting. Next episode. The preview was everything. The preview was every single thing. I loved it so much. And Heart Juicy Mixer is finally appearing. I cannot wait. And the story is moving forward, girl. Oh my god, this is gonna be everything. Anyways, this was my view on episode 9. Please leave a comment with yours. Leave theories in the comments because there are lots of things to theorize, I think. Let's keep talking in the comment box below. Anyways, I just want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member, thank you very, very, very much for your support, for standing by Magical Cinnamon. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!